Yo, how's it going, YouTube? I'm back in the video, and today I'm going to be talking about how the Zion Williamson disrespect is starting to get a little bit out of hand. Now, what I mean by this is that there has been a ton of rumors and just overall negative feedback when it comes to Zion Williamson lately, from the Pelicans fans, from the media, and just really everything around Zion's name has been very, very negative. And although some of it is kind of, sort of, like, warranted, not all of it is warranted at all. And I begin to a few reasons why I think some of it needs to stop and is kind of out of hand and unnecessary. So I'm beginning to all that in this video. And if you do like Viewing Point, hit the like button and subscribe button. It would mean the absolute word to me. But without further ado, without rambling on too much, let's get right into this video. Alright, so the reason I want to start off with the whole he wants to leave New Orleans narrative is because I think it is getting very, very overblown by the national media, and honestly, this narrative has surrounded Zion's name since the second he was drafted. Because if you do remember, when he was drafted by the Pelicans with the #1 overall pick, there were videos of Zion, like, trying to make him look like he was unhappy to be drafted by the Pelicans. Now, although I do not agree with it, and I don't think he looked unhappy in any way, but there were a lot of, like, videos going around saying he was not happy that the Pelicans won the lottery, and that was just pure speculation at that point. And honestly, I think it was just kind of the start of this snowball that is starting to snowball out of control. And if you are just a casual fan looking from the outside in, you would probably think, with all the media saying that he wants to leave, guaranteed leaving, New York wants him, and all these reports like that, you would probably think he wants out. But in reality, if you look at only the facts, not the rumors and not the speculation that isn't confirmed in any way, if you look at just the reality and the facts, in every interview he's ever done, he has only confirmed that he wants to stay in New Orleans. There's report after report, interview after interview of him saying that he loves New Orleans, that he wants to stay in New Orleans, and that he wants to win with the team that drafted him, which is the New Orleans Pelicans. So when in every interview that he is in, that when he's asked about New Orleans, if he's saying he loves the city and he doesn't want to leave, that is a weird way to, for the media standpoint, to want to get out of a team, because a lot of people are saying he's trying to force his way out of New Orleans by not playing. But then if he's trying to force his way out so hard, why would he go out of his way to answer these questions so, like, convincingly and so adamant that he wants to be with the Pelicans and he loves the city of New Orleans? And then there's also pictures of him going around New Orleans now that he's back from Portland from his recovery, and he's starting to ramp up his basketball activities. So I don't think personally, if he wanted to leave so bad, and these rumors were true that he wanted to leave so bad, that in every interview when he's asked this question, he would be so adamant about how he loves the city and wants to win with the team that drafted him. And then another thing that everybody says that kind of support the argument that he wants to leave is that his stepfather said he wants to go to the Knicks. Now, although this is not a quote from his stepfather never came out and said he wants to play with the Knicks. It's just people reported that at his camp, his stepfather said he would like to play with the Knicks. This isn't a fact. He never came out and said it. So at this point, it is just a rumor. And then Zion even kind of shut this down when he said in an interview that everyone that knows him knows that he wants to be in New Orleans. So that is also another huge contradiction to what all these rumors are saying. And that is one of the biggest reasons. Like, everybody's saying, oh, his stepfather wants him to go. Boom, Zion wants to go to New York. Now, even if his stepfather does maybe want him to go to New York, Zion does not seem to share that same opinion. And if I'm going to have to go with, do I trust the guy the rumors are about, or do I trust the people that are creating these rumors for clicks, I think I am going to stand with Zion Williamson on this situation and say that maybe his stepfather, although maybe I said something around it, or maybe his camp, someone in his camp kind of tried to leak that to get some attention rolling. I don't think if that's what Zion's camp's intentions were, to really get this attention and the snowball rolling, why would Zion try to shut it down almost immediately at all times? It doesn't make sense. If his camp wants him out so bad, why does Zion keep doing the opposite of what people are saying? That literally makes no sense. And then most recently, everybody was kind of bashing him because of JJ Redick thing. JJ Redick said it on his podcast that Zion Williams looks like, and I quote, a detached teammate. And this is kind of a damning quote if you look at it just at face value. As with being Zion's former teammate, he would have insight that not any other reporter or anyone would know. And everyone took this and ran. But what a lot of people chose to ignore was that JJ Redick hates the New Orleans front office, and he has came out openly and said that he doesn't expect any honesty to come from this organization's front office. He has openly had disagreements and is openly not on good terms with the Pelicans front office. So a guy like JJ Redick with such a big podcast that so many people listen to would benefit, or maybe not benefit, but would have motive to hurt the New Orleans Pelicans organization and kind of bash on them as well. So although this quote could be something I would take with a grain of salt, because someone like JJ Redick, who did not have a good time in New Orleans and was openly not happy with the trade that we gave him when we traded him to Dallas, and then was openly not happy with the front office on his podcast, I think you would have to take this with a grain of salt, because to call him a detached teammate when Zion played 65 games that season, on top of that averaging 27 points per game, 1 steal per game, 4 assists per game, 7 rebounds per game on 61% shooting from the field, that just does not look like a detached teammate. Because if you look at former detached teammates in the past, just look at James Harden. He has shown 2 examples of this. James Harden in his final few games at Houston, who did not want to be there, he wanted out of Houston bad. He was not the James Harden we know. He went from MVP James Harden to bum Harden very, very quickly, and it was very apparent. And then even just recently, his final days with the Brooklyn Nets were not his best days, but the second he gets to Philadelphia, he becomes a James Harden everybody knows, and he is looking much, much better. And it was the same thing with Houston to Brooklyn. He looked very good in Brooklyn when he first got there. And that is really just one example of a detached teammate or an angry, disgruntled teammate who wants out of the organization, and he was not putting up those type of numbers or James Harden-like numbers at all when he wanted out. But when you look at Zion, why would that be any different for him? How come when Zion's disgruntled apparently and detached apparently, he wants to leave and all that, and he doesn't want to be on this team, and he's upset that he is on this team? Why is he still playing as hard as he is? Why is he still training as hard as he is? And why is he still putting up these super high numbers and saying nothing to the media, insinuating that he wants to leave? That literally makes no sense from a guy that the media wants to say is trying to force his way out. It just makes absolutely zero sense. And another thing that I just want to kind of touch on is a lot of people are taking his silence for being that he supports these rumors going around about him being a detached teammate or that he wants out of New Orleans. And honestly, that doesn't make sense, because I saw a few videos, I think it was a Mike Korzemba video, he said that Zion hasn't said anything on social media at all, and he has done a few things. He said all Zion needs to do is do the bare minimum, and then he to shut down all these rumors. And although he did make a tweet, he made 2 Instagram post stories saying he loves his teammates and that they're his boys for life, and then he also said that's a good team W. And by the way, before this whole situation, he is constantly retweeting good things about the Pelicans. So it makes zero sense to say how he is a detached teammate, he wants out. Why would he be doing all this, acting like he loves New Orleans, when he can just openly not do anything about it and just let it sit if he wanted to be out of New Orleans? Why would he shut down any rumors that he wants out if he wants out so badly? It doesn't make sense. The media is trying to push a narrative, honestly, that I don't support and that I don't think is true. I think the facts are outweighing the rumors right now, and I hope you just saw that in what I just said. And then a second reason I want to say is they are kind of overblowing his injuries. Now, I'm not as adamant on this problem because injuries could really derail Zion's career with just how he's built, and the possibility is there, and his injury history is not good. But as of right now, I do think his injuries are kind of being played up a little bit more than they need to, because if you really look at it, if you look at the first 3 years of Joel Embiid's career, Zion Williamson has already played more games in just 2 seasons. So I think for sure Zion's injuries, although they are to be noted, I think for sure you need to look at him and give him time to get healthy and see if he can stay healthy for an extended period of time. And then a lot of people aren't looking at this of how he got injured. He got injured by working his ass off in the offseason. It's been reported a lot. You can look at him anywhere, and there's probably some on the screen right now. He got hurt by working hard. Everybody said he was working extremely hard. He wanted to be in the best shape of his life. He wanted to do all these things, but then unfortunately he broke his foot during the workouts, which kind of set him back, obviously. But I mean, why would he be working that hard to put a good season? Why would he want to be in that good of shape for a team that he doesn't want to be on? It once again makes absolutely zero sense, but people like to just graze over that like he just somehow got injured while walking one day. No, he got injured while working out to get better for a team that he doesn't want to be on. That makes zero sense. He got hurt because he wanted to be good for the Pelicans, and he wanted the Pelicans to have a successful season. So I think for sure that does show at least he is somewhat committed to this team. Another thing that shows he's super committed that people were trying to spin is that he is recovering in Portland away from the team, or at least he was before he got cleared for basketball activities and went back to New Orleans. A lot of people were trying to say he's away from the team because he doesn't want to be with them, which makes no sense. He literally spent the first bit of recovery in New Orleans trying to recover, but then it wasn't going as fast as they wanted because when they tried to bring him back, the bone started being sore and it started kind of regress. So then they brought him to professionals in Portland so he could recover better and more efficiently, which obviously it worked because he is coming back right now. So I don't understand how that narrative literally is just untrue. Like, that was just people trying to make some stuff up that makes zero sense. And then even if you look at his injury history, it isn't that crazy. People like to say it's a crazy injury history for what he's done when he's really only had one scary injury that could kind of hinder him going forward or maybe bother him. But a lot of them are just kind of freak things, like in Duke, when he busted through his shoe, there is nothing he can do about that. If his shoe doesn't break, he doesn't get injured. That's just a freak thing. Literally nothing you can do about that. Just an unfortunate situation. The only kind of scary one is when he tore his meniscus, and that is, I will admit, kind of scary, but it did fully heal, and then he played the rest of the season after tearing his meniscus, and he played very, very good after it, so he is fully recovered from that. And then if you look at his other one, then you have things like the other injuries that everybody likes to talk about that he missed time for, but they were like a thumb sprain. He got hurt right at the end of the season after we were knocked out of the playoffs, when in all reality that was just resting him and hoping he doesn't get injured, so you take him out because we're out of the playoffs anyway. And then he had a thumb sprain that held him out for a while in the middle of the season, which has nothing to do with his weight. And then another time he got a broken hand or something like that, and it also has nothing to do with his weight. So he's really only had two injuries, which is this injury and the torn meniscus that he fully recovered from, and he is currently recovering from the broken foot. So now after he comes back from his injury, if he's able to play the rest of this season while also playing an entire playoff, if they make the playoffs, then they come back, has a fully healthy offseason, all these injuries, possibilities, and problems that everybody likes to hype up on Zion will slowly start to go away the longer he stays healthy and the more he shows that he can stay healthy. By the way, he did look very healthy when he was in high school. He looked healthy when he was in Duke if it wasn't for the freak injury. So he does have the capability of playing an entire season healthy if nothing freaky happens like he blows through a shoe. So I think for sure his injuries are overblown. I think the whole narrative that he wants to leave is either twisted in a way that's not true or is 100% rumors when the facts say completely opposite things. Because when a fact is completely opposite of a rumor, I'm always going to go with the facts all the time because that's just usually what is true. But unfortunately, guys, that's me for this video. So comment below, do you agree with me? Do you think Zion is getting disrespected a little too much? Do you think the narratives are starting to get out of hand? On your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like the point, hit the like button and subscribe button. It means the absolute word to me. Hope you have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. So you have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah, blah, blah.